Alright guys, apologies about the delayed start. Hope you're doing well. We're ready to rock and roll, guys. Time to get this show on the road. Without further ado, as always, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, no matter where we are around the world. Welcome to another edition of the London session. Once again, we are looking forward to seeing what we can come up with moving forward here today on the gold. Obviously been in a bit of a bull trend throughout the day, pushed very bullish all day today. There is some limit orders already set, guys, so we'll go over those shortly. We're not really near them, so don't stress it. Still got time to cover those. So looking forward to an interesting day again on charts. Obviously yesterday was a really good day on stream. We caught a really nice win with 0 drawdown. So let's get into it, guys. Let's not muck around. Guys, if you could, please make sure YouTube, don't forget to hit that like button. TikTok, smash that little screen first. TikTok, I wasn't on stream with you guys yesterday. We were live on YouTube, and once again we caught a cracking trade on YouTube. So I always suggest make sure to jump across to the YouTube stream. Do follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Anyway guys, let's get into it. First of all, for any charts, any questions, pop those into the chat and I'll get to you all shortly. In the meantime, let's take a look at the all-important news. Apologies for being a little bit delayed, guys. My computer crashed just before I was about to stream. Let's hope we don't have any more issues. So high impact news dropping right now for the pound, with CPI just being released and it came out a negative. So possible could be bad for the pound for anyone trading it. So it could be weakness in the pound. Something to keep a bit of an eye out on. Otherwise, moving forward into NY session, let's see, not much, well, nothing really scheduled. We do have the president speaking. That is, you know, early my time, so it'll be late for those of you over in Europe and the UK. But just be wary of any important breaking news at any point in time. Let's have a good one, guys. Would there be an interruption presenting straight off the bat here? Anyway, let's get into it and let's start with the gold. And we'll do the top down, and then I'll pull up the indicator. I'll tell you where we've got some valid entries. Starting on the weekly time frame here, and what we can see is we are forming a bullish engulfing candle, so we're extremely strong bullish. Once again, at 4K level, we just keep bouncing off it. But when you're looking at the high time frame picture, also the daily, these bounces off this 4K zone tend to be more and more shallow. So what I'm seeing now, you could argue we've created a bit of a higher high here, closing above and pushing above these wicks to the left hand side here. We are currently at some pretty strong resistance though on the daily, which will be evident also on the 4 hour. But based off the daily, based off the weekly, a higher time frame picture, we are very bullish. Just the short term. Now, current daily, no lower wick. Do we need it? Not necessarily. What we've done within this current daily is form a bit of a step ladder, as we'll see shortly. I'm also on the M15. So long as any pullback to any of these previous levels is respected and buys step back in, then we could look for some potential continuation buys back up, or pullback buys, sorry, back up towards the current daily candles high. So that's what I'm seeing in a high time frame picture. Now to the 4 hour. Have we flipped some structure here? Have we actually in fact confirmed a structure flip? And I can tell you, yes, we definitely have. So the bias is bullish, irrespective of the 15-minute, which I can tell you right now is going to be bullish anyway. We are bullish today. Therefore, I'm more than likely going to be only looking for buys. I will look at some potential sell options and I'll show you those shortly. However, we are going to be bullish across the board. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mark in that is the 4 hour resistance. Let's just change that to gray. As far as support, we're a distance off it, so I'm not going to bother. Let's go down to the 15-minute time frame and see what we can, if we can in fact adjust this zone. All right, so what I'm going to do is just bring that across to current price action, and we will leave it. Will we actually? Let's zoom out a bit. Let's zoom out. What do we got here to the left? So let's zoom out, and we can see we've got a little bit more consolidation here. A little bit more resistance to the left, just above the current level. Above that level, it does look clean, so we really want to be above it. Just pull up something shortly, which is going to show us we may have a sell limit order just above that zone though. So we're going to use that as the actual zone, guys. Now, as far as a zone to the downside, what we're going to do is mark in some, I'm going to mark in this one level here. I'm going to make that a blue zone, and that is my minus zone within the current daily candle. Now we obviously have here, what do we have, guys? Those who pay attention, who watch the stream regularly, we got it on the M30, got it on the M15, we have an interruption. So I do have buy limit set. Now I've got an order set at the high of this M15 bullish candle. So delayed IFC buy limit. Now I've also got one set at the body. So I've got two orders set, stop loss back below. And that is if we do in fact pull back further. Now I'm not really going to be looking for sells below this support unless what we do now is pull back up, retest this current daily candles high, preferably sweep the daily high, the Asian range high, only to start popping back below it, forming some minor support below it. And that point there, I may consider an option to sell it, or I may even consider the sells from below the support at 4113. But I would love for that to happen first. Now, actually, I'm going to just adjust this zone. I'm going to adjust it to there. And what else we're going to be looking for is if we, in fact, we do pull back that bit further, we'll just be looking for the buys upon the support confirmation. But I would prefer to look for the limit orders. So if it does, in fact, drop, that's obviously that's where I've got orders set. Now I'm going to pull up the indicator here. And what I'm going to show you is this one's not valid, guys. Don't worry about that. It's picking up one it should not be picking up. But what we do have, and this is definitely valid, to the upside, we have a sell limit that is valid upon the cluster, what we call the cluster IC. At 4152, I've actually got set 4151.9. That is what the entry level is on my broker's chart. So we'll leave the indicator on and we'll put the limit order sell position in, so you guys can see exactly, once again, we have got order set. Now stop loss, I should have marked that in. Stop loss is set just above the bullish candle high, so I've just marked it in for horizontal. So I've got it set like a pip and a bit above it. Back to the M15 here, back to current price action. So yeah, so that's pretty much the limit order sell I've got set. So that's on the cluster IC entry. Now that I will also be watching how price approaches it, because we are forming a very strong bullish within the current daily candle. So if in fact we approach with a lot of steam, then I may not even bother with it. I may choose to ignore the sell and focus on just any buys, because we're likely going to have potential limit order buys upon the interruption entry presenting higher up if we are to continue bullish. So we'll keep an eye on how price approaches. I just want to make sure I've got the leveling correct. And that is the plan moving forward here today, guys. So entries are already in, well, not actually in play, but we've got order set. And I'm just going to draw these in. Now I did send these into my members group a lot earlier today. All right, so that one will look like so. So that's the current limit orders that are set, guys. Now we'll see if anything in between, any price action orders present. And the most important thing is, guys, that we remain patient. Like yesterday, we saw what happens. We remain patient, wait for our catalyst to present, wait for price to get to the levels we want to be involved in a trade. We saw what happens. Absolute pearl of a trade yesterday. Could not have been any more perfect. Meantime, guys, that is the analysis on gold. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome yet to another London session stream. G'day to you, BMPW. I hope you're doing well. Paul, my friend. Kobe, good morning to you, mate. Wilson's gold. Happy trading, yep. Franco, good morning to you, mate. BMPW, I see, yep. May I know what I see by limit Wilson is gold? Well, on my broker's chart, I've got two set. One at 4098.19 to be exact. That's roughly the body of that. So you open that bearish candle, the pause interruption candle. Got another one set at 4102.04, and that is the high of that bearish candle. Lowering the risk because it is a wide stop loss. That's pretty much what I'm looking at, guys. Maybe same, nice one. Rebecca, g'day to you. TikTok, jump across to YouTube. I'm having problems with the stream. It's not, I don't know, it's restricting my visibility for some reason. All right, let's quickly look at some of the other pairs. So yesterday, guys, just realized after the stream, GJ, look at that. We called that on stream. And it actually happened right at the end of the stream, but I didn't notice it until we just finished it. Look at that for an entry. Tapped in, you would have had a couple pip drawdown, and look at it bounced and retest the high after that. An absolute cracking entry. So for those who were paying attention, you could have had a really good entry on GJ as well yesterday. Let's just look at current price action and see what's going on. If there is any possible entries. Off the back of the news, it's just whipsawed to pretty much almost retest the daily high. And it's also broken a low within the same candle, so it's tricky on GJ. Probably just need to let it settle down, do its thing for a bit. AU, don't want to see it drop. It's been tears, especially when you need to convert the currency. Oh geez, it's still not tapped into that buy limit. It keeps getting so close and bouncing off. There is still a valid buy limit here on AU, guys, from the 20th, from Monday the 20th. So a couple days back, actually, not that long ago. That is valid. To the upside, that's been taken out, so there's nothing there. EU, nothing on EU at the minute. EU, obviously affected by the news, just done what GJ's pretty much did. It's taken out the high and low within the one candle. Needs to let things settle on GU. As far as potential further entries moving forward, there is a sell option on the sell limit at this level here. Not being tagged into, so 134.07475 roughly. Let's quickly look at the indices. Let's have a look at the German 40, the DAX. Consolidating, looking very ugly at the minute. I'd avoid it. Quickly look at NASDAQ. Once again, the analysis from the members call yesterday was correct. All right, limit order would have worked there. On the continuation interruption, good to see it work, but at the minute there's nothing on it. Yeah, it's at some pretty solid support, so again, just needs to give it some time. Back to the goal. My team here is a link. How's it going, guys? How's the week been? I hope it's been a good one. It's been a very good week so far for me personally. Vanessa, morning to you. Kobe, do I see a possible sell at around 4144? 44. As far as the level, I like it, but because there's no real interruption candle there, I would rather wait for some solid confirmation. So a strong rejection, and like I mentioned before, price to perhaps still pop back below the Asian range high, back below that point, because that would suggest to me we've grabbed upside liquidity and swept that liquidity in order to maybe push back down towards the support at 4120, that sort of region. So my probably preference if it was to pop up. Let me just put the horizontal back in for the interruption sell entry. There is another one up ahead as well. The issue with that one, it's a really wide stop. You're looking at some 180 pips. I mean, one to the downside is also a pretty wide one. Yeah, it's about 130. But the one to the downside gives me a few options in regards to layering into the entry, whereas the one to the upside doesn't. Reason being is because the body is too close to the actual interruption handle point of entry itself. That's where I would layer in at the body. Rebecca, progress this week, stayed out of spike when previously would have FOMO'd in. Nice one. That's huge. Honestly, that's probably better than any win, or to be honest, because that just shows enormous discipline. What it does show is that you're growing on the charts, and if you can just patiently wait and trade your plan, I mean, we've seen time and time again, probably in this stream too, what could happen. So that's a huge positive and a big step forward, and you should be proud of yourself, in all honesty. Kobe, all good. BMPW, I took a loss this morning. It was a late entry, also impulsive. My stop loss hit. Listen, learn. Okay, so a little bit opposite to what Rebecca was just mentioning. Yeah, so let it be a lesson learned, mate. Sometimes you learn the hard way. So remember, have a little birdie over your shoulder, picture my face saying, no FOMO, mate. It might work. Who knows? It might help, in all honesty. Every time you're about to jump into a trade that you know you're a little bit late to, even if it's a planned entry, just remember me saying no FOMO. Wilson is gold. Do you know where the potential support for NQ? I'll look at NASDAQ. Reason being is because I've got a delayed feed on NQ, so there's no point me really looking at. I mean, it's support right now, to be honest. It's at some support. But it does appear to be making a pretty strong impulsive leg to the downside. Good news is, what I'd like to see is this actually continue to the downside, not begin to flip, and then what you've got is a interruption, is sell limit. That would be valid. So long as it's a strong body candle and doesn't leave a massive long lower wick, because that would suggest to me that we're perhaps respecting these wicks to the left, which is to me liquidity, which could potentially push price back up. But if this was the close strong body, that would suggest that we're perhaps going to push through that level, that zone. And I would be definitely interested if I was trading NAS or NQ. Definitely interested in the limit order sell. Now, the stronger the impulse, the better. So even if it wasn't the following candle that tagged in, if it was to continue bearish, create a further impulse, what it does is give you more margin to target as well. And it's convincingly cut through those bodies to the left. So even if it was to do something like that, and then you're waiting for it to form some support. And what we often see after a pretty strong impulse is the trickle up is usually something lacks a bit of volume. Takes a lot more candles to get back up as opposed to what it took to create the impulsive lead. And then we usually get some pretty strong rejections. So that is what I'd be looking at personally on NASDAQ. Minute on gold, we're a bit of a distance off an entry, guys, but we just need to wait. Let's see what presents in between. PW will do, no FOMO. Exactly right, my friend. Being at work on the interruption indicator. Not too sure what's gone wrong here though, because it just picked up that which it should not have picked up. I mean, it's just bounced off it. However, technically speaking, it shouldn't be picking it up now. So what it does suggest, this line, this dotted line, does suggest that it's not yet been tagged into. So we'll zoom in just here. Probably got very close, but not quite. But we actually did tag into it on the candle that followed the engulfing candle, so should not be picking that up. It's just little bits and pieces that need to be ironed out, but otherwise it's very close to being complete. Really, why it's handy, because it lets you know when there's potential interruptions that are being far off when we're fast approaching them, like for instance the ones to the upside here. Wilson's gold, all good, mate, all good. EA, he would have had a winning interruption earlier today as well. So again, good to see it playing out. Yeah, so NASDAQ looking really good. All right, so this is all right too, guys. If we can make a clear move back down to this level of liquidity around that 41.20, what I'm going to be doing is looking out for a price action catalyst, potentially look for a buy. So that could be a single candle catalyst. It could be a little bit of consolidation and price pulling away from the consolidation. Be a few things, guys, but we could have a potential option on the pullback. So we're not just limit order, we're not, just focused on limit order entries. We do take just the typical price action catalyst entries when I do present. To be honest, I haven't presented much of late on gold. Okay, just give me 2 seconds, I'll be back real quick. Also a valid interruption on the 2-hour, which is lower down. And the 2 hours played out absolutely perfectly. You've had a few here. You had one that tagged in and bounced straight off, and very little drawdown on that one. And look at it now. There is another valid entry. So there's one for later on, which I actually think I've got an order set for, if I'm not mistaken. No, I've got it set for the cluster M30, just a tad lower down. So I do have an order set for that as well, but that is way further down. The really good thing about this one, gives you a fantastic tight stop loss as well. So I do have a buy limit, and it's actually set at 4,083.08 because that is the highest point of that particular bearish candle on my broker's chart. So it's another entry I've set as well, just to let you guys know. All this has been called into the member section very early during the Asian session today, in the trade ideas section. All the possible limit order entries on gold forward today. Sunbox Golden Lens, good morning to you, my friend. Hope you're well, my loyal YouTube member. Happy to see gold is bullish. I hope it continues. Yeah, to be honest, I kind of hope it pulls back. I really want it to pull back towards 3,500. Wow, we are fast dropping at the minute on gold. Not sure if you joined the members only stream yesterday. Sunbox Golden Lens. No, Uppers was on it, one of the YouTube members. There's only like 6 or 7 of you. I think there was 2, but I'm not sure the other one was. So I'll probably do a bit more of that in the future for the YouTube members, so the ones that show a bit of support every month. Like $4 a month or some shit. It's not much. To be honest, I don't even get it. Takes me forever to reach a threshold. I get like a payout once every 4 months on YouTube. Like, yeah, literally about 2-3 times a year of measly $100. I make nothing from it. It's just a show of thank you for those who, you know, watch on the regular, subscribe, join as a member, support the channel. So I'll start doing that a bit more often, streaming the members call for you guys as well. Oh, geez, so it's tagged in now. It's pushing straight through it on AU. I think it could be something breaking news-wise. It looks like there's strength in US dollar. You got gold, and majors pulling back. You got gold pulling back. Yeah, look at that. Let's have a look. UJ. Yep, that's going up. So must be some strength in US dollar. I'm not sure if there's any breaking news. If anyone knows of anything, fill me in. Okay, yep. I'm assuming that was just recently. Actually, no, that wasn't. That was yesterday. That was on a members call. I think we saw that. Yeah, I'm not too sure if there is anything breaking, but there seems to be a lot of strength in US dollar at the minute. Once again, don't need to look at DXY, just look at the euro. And just look at the other majors. If they're all going down, there must be strength in the US dollar. Let's see if gold can pop back down through the limit order entries here. Wilson, is gold crude oil? Has it? Yep. Well, that would be expected. Yeah, that is the case, isn't it? So I'm assuming there's some news breaking perhaps out of Iran. So they've probably come out and denied that they're in talks, because the US will come out and say they're in talks. But then you might have Trump coming out saying that the talks have been shithouse and the war is on and all that. You never know what to believe, to be honest. Danium 4119 fresh weekly, double top already. Is in what? A buy from or sell? I mean, weekly's already engulfing, well, was engulfing the previous weekly. I'm saying I'm not sure what you mean by 4119 fresh weekly. Alright, what I'm going to do is just adjust this zone. So that's the level we're now at and respecting. So now my task is to look out to see if we do get, in fact, a price action catalyst forming from the current level to the upside. Because this could be just a pullback in the current daily candle to pick up some downside liquidity before it pushes back bullish. So we'll see what happens here. So price action catalyst that I focus on, and this is free education, guys, so make sure to hit the like button, listen carefully. Things such as bullish engulfing now is an issue with this one, and I'm assuming most of you guys can tell me what it is. There's in fact two issues. As good as a catalyst it is, what's one of the most important, well, probably the most important thing we need to consider prior to any entry? Some will beg to differ, some probably won't even use one. But what do you guys think is the most important thing we need to determine prior to any entry? Give you like 10-15 seconds to someone to answer. Who's gonna have a stab at it? Someone take a guess. Franco pretty much got it right. Both the issues here. As to be expected from one of the members. Yes, your stop loss is huge. Your stop loss is going to be massive. So as good as a catalyst it is, you're looking at plus 170, 180 roughly pips. Now the second issue is you need to have a target. You're right back at resistance. Even if you ignore that wick, you're back at the 4-hour resistance. So there is no margin to target. So there are two things you need to consider prior to any entry. So as good as a price action catalyst that may be, just not the one I want to see in this sort of circumstance. So what I would prefer to see is perhaps go down to the 5-minute and see if we can form a little bit of minor resistance at this support. So for instance, reference would be for this M5 close somewhat like so. We have a higher upper wick, doesn't really make a difference, but close back bearish. Then what I'd like to see is that to be engulfed. And what we've done at that support here, formed earlier within the day, we formed a minor resistance on the 5-minute. We'll form a bullish, we'll close the bullish engulfing to close the M15, which will close the M15 back a relatively strong bullish candle at this level of liquidity. So that would suggest to me that so long as the following candle had a bit of a low wick, begun to break the high of what would be our catalyst, we have a few clean candles here to the left. There's a high chance that we're heading back up towards at least 41.32, 41.30. At that point there, I can safely get to break even and secure some profit. So that is something that I could potentially look out for if it does present. And hopefully it makes sense, guys. So again, you get free education as well as quality entries. Someone's gone lynch. I actually spotted that interruption candle. That interruption candle sit pretty well for the 15-minute FEG. Good point for gold to continue bullish. The one down here. Okay, fair enough. You fully aware I don't use fair value gaps, but all good. You use it as added confluence by all means. AU crashed through the stop loss. Oh, it's actually respected it just. You'd be back in a bit of profit. Alright, so the 5-minute is starting to reject. So the next time frame in the process of evolution when it comes to the interruption entry to be tested is the 5-minute, guys. So it's something I've not yet properly tested. I've taken a couple entries on it. The strike rate is 100%. I've taken literally 2 entries on it, both were wins. That was when price is really pushing with momentum. I've not tested it on the cluster, for instance here, or at support. That is something to potentially test, then look out for maybe moving forward, guys, later in the year, or potentially into the second half. Well, we're in the second half of the year, potentially in the final quarter of the year, I suppose. All right, so the 5 minute looks like it's going to close bearish. Perfect. So quite simple. I am to consider any buys from the current level based on price action. What I want to see in the following candle is this. If I don't get it, there is no entry. Very, very simple. So Moscow lens, I look at it like confluence. Ever since I learnt that interruption candle from you, I always look out for it. I just added the fair value gap as confluence. That's fair enough, mate. By all means, you guys got to do what works for you. So if you can add something which gives your entry more meaning and more probability, then why not? By all means. Jim, morning to you, mate. Some Moscow lens, you know, I've learned a lot from you. Appreciate it, my friend, and always appreciate your support. So it's a pleasure. All right, so that is where we want this 5 minute candle to close above. Slash M15. AU would still be running in profit just. Generally speaking, you look for at least a 1-to-1. The 1-to-1 on that is literally 3.6 pips, so it's not much at all. But that's the beauty of some of these majors. They give you some really easy to target risk rewards. Back to the goal, guys. 1 minute and 30 seconds left. Are we going to pop up here to close the level I want it to close at? If so, we could have a valid buy option. Ooh, we're looking like we're trying to. What I suggest, guys, is focus on what the highest point of the current candle is. It needs to once again close above this horizontal. Then what we want to wait for is the following candle to create a low wick. You set the buy stop above the high of what the highest point of this 15-minute candle will be. And that will be the potential entry. You need to focus and track the high of the current candle. So far, my brokerage chart's 41.20.34. So 41.20. 6.5 could be a potential entry. Needs to push a little stronger. This is the last thing we want to do. We really want to close, look right at the high, if not completely engulfing. So it doesn't look like it's going to be valid. Alright, so it's technically not valid. Rules are rules, guys. And the reason why I'm going to stick with the rule is because look at the strength of that sell-off. Look at this one candle against it. It hardly suggests to me that the buyers are back in the market. Doesn't mean it can't pump, but what it does show me is that my confirmation to give me, you know, the conviction that price is going to continue back bullish was not ticked off. So based off that, there is no FOMO. Not my entry. So need to reassess, and this is step by step what goes through my mind, guys. Doing it live. What I want to see is now maybe a little bit of an impulse. Trigger in some sellers, close back a bearish candle, and then engulf that bearish candle on the M15. And that would convince me that perhaps we're ready to push back bullish from the current level. Without that, there is not much I can do at the minute. Just let gold do its thing. But the thing is, guys, you can see right now, I have a clear plan. I know exactly what I want to see. That's what you guys need to get to. There is no FOMO. It's not, oh shit, not sure we close bullish. I just buy it. Rules are rules. Paul, any chance of showing some appreciation by hitting the like button? That would be much appreciated. Only 29 likes as well, over 100 on stream. So please, guys, if you could just quickly hit the like button. TikTok, make sure to jump across to the YouTube stream. It is the exact same profile name. Didn't stream yesterday on TikTok. I was only live on YouTube. We caught a cracking trade on YouTube. So do be sure to jump across to the YouTube stream. Not miss it. Exact same profile name, guys. I'm streaming live right now on YouTube as well. All right, so let's see where we're at for London Open now. Jeremy Simmons, daily GU on a daily. Let's have a look at GU on the daily. Yeah, what am I to look at? I can tell you the structure itself is bullish. There's a bit of a room down to what we call a last significant high low here around that 133.50, just below it. So really, so long as it remains above that point, to me, it's structurally bullish. If you're asking me about longer term perspective, I do believe its high time frame is bullish. So it's approaching probably a good level to look for buys. The 4 hour though, look, I'd argue that's still bullish as well. We'll really get closures below these wicks here. Yeah, so the 4 hours also approaching pretty strong level of support. So to me, I'd look longer term picture, I'd be looking for buy options. I'd probably be a little bit more patient and wait for it to pull back just that bit further towards 133.50 again. And look out for some sort of bounce off that point for perhaps a longer term entry. Some Must Go Lens. Yes, I did go live with the YouTube members yesterday. So it was my VIP group session. I streamed that live. I also sent in a link for you guys to join the Zoom call if you wanted to. So I know Puppers was on it. He's one of the members of the YouTube channel. And it was one other person watching, but I'm not sure who that was, to be honest, because I just didn't check the name and they didn't type anything into the chat. But whoever it was, hope you enjoyed it. It was more just us chatting. Jeremy, all good? Some What's Going On, you didn't receive notification. Oh, really? Yeah, well, like I said, mate, I'll try to do it more often. It's not going to be every VIP session, though. Alright, guys, so look. By not ticking off that box, we've saved ourselves drawdown here. And I hope you guys haven't jumped in just thinking it's going to pump because I had the idea of potential buys. Because it wasn't valid. And look at it now. Now it's pretty much at stop loss. Had you taken it? So by having these rules and knowing exactly what you are to look out for, not only can it be, you know, benefit in regards to potential profits, but it can also spare you and conserve your capital, which is just as important in the long run when it comes to trading. So let this be a lesson as well. And could we have an interruption present for London Open here? If we close bearish, engulfing this support, I will limit order a lot of that bullish candle for session open. But the catalyst here, and the rule for this one, again, there's rules for this as well, guys. Every trade there's rules. What this needs to do is close below this horizontal, and that will wipe out this zone. And then what I'll be looking for is at session open. So it'll look somewhat like this. I'll draw the picture for you. Then what I'm going to be looking for is a limit order sell back at the high low of that bullish candle in anticipation. Price is going to grab leftover liquidity from that level, reject, and end up pretty much tagging into the buy limit order. So you could look for a sell to buy, basically. It happened once on stream. I think it was late last year from memory, where we took, I think it was a buy, it get involved in the sell, and both were profitable wins, both were wins. So let's see if it does present again. Wilson's goal, fake push. You mean fake pullback, or Teapot Derby being sold since 11:30 EST, holding until US 10 AM. All right, fair enough. At least you got a plan. Puppers, g'day to you, mate, and I hope you enjoyed the members only call yesterday. Just dropping by, say hi, drop a like though. Real busy. All good, mate. Appreciate you dropping by just to drop a like and say hello. I hope work is okay for you, mate. We got some limit orders set, both to the downside for buy limits and also a sell limit higher up. 2 seconds, guys. Teapot Derby, 4,030, 50 CP. Fair enough, mate. Look, I hope it drops for you. But in the meantime, as it taps into 41.02, that sort of region, I hope we get a bit of a reaction. We get to take some profit, and then it maybe continues through for you. So, see what happens. And if this is to close bearish like so, without obviously giving us that confirmation for the limit order sell, then the next idea for the buyers, again, very simple, as I mentioned a bit earlier, starting to form a bit of structure here. If we got this bullish engulfing in the M15, that would be my catalyst. Puppets, yeah, yesterday's members only stream was a blast. I was listening all the way while driving, but I can't hear clearly the other members you speak to through Zoom. Looking forward to... Oh, really? Okay, that's interesting. I'll have to adjust volumes and that. Thank you for letting me know that. Jeremy, when you long, if closed above blue zone. No, close, like I mentioned, if this closes above the blue zone and the following candle closes like this, that's when I'll look for a long. Teapot Derby, British data brought it down. Possibly, I'd look. I don't remember the data out of the UK normally having such an effect on gold. And to be honest, that was the candle itself where the release came out. So I just reckon it was probably price action. It's been very bullish throughout the day, so it's probably pulling back. Maybe to grab some downside liquidity in order to push back bullish, but it could just be, once again, high time frame pulling back. Right, what in crypto terms a lot of people will call another dead cat bounce. So we don't know yet, remains to be seen. Teapot Derby breaking 21 and 30-day EMAs. Fair enough. Jeremy, why aren't you selling? Top down move is bears. Why am I not selling? Because I don't have a confirmation to sell, nor is it at the level I want to sell from. Teapot Derby on M15. EMAs, yeah, I'm not going to pull them up on stream either way, because that means I have to remove my view indicators here. Vitali, if there is a 5 min and 15 minute FUG, how do you choose, or do you just use both? I don't use any. Don't use fair value gaps, my friend. Teapot Derby facts, that's what I'm thinking. It's going to bounce on the day and let Thursday, Friday side. Possibly. Yeah, I'm not convinced by this bullish leg, to be honest. Once again, guys, we need to engulf here. We need to be below this support. And the reason is because throughout the day we've been extremely bullish, forming a very strong bullish candle. I know we're at some resistance, but the structure within the current day's candle is very bullish. So as we respect this support, there's a good chance we could end up back bullish. I still need my catalyst / confirmation candle. So therefore I really want it to pop back below, because then I can look for a limit order sell. And there's a good chance the limit order buy will be triggered in as well. We have 1 minute to see if we can pop below that zone. I mean, to session open. And let's quickly hit the like button for those who have not done so. Let's get it to at least 50 again, guys. Minimum would be the goal for each and every stream. All right, so this stage doesn't look like the sell is going to be valid. Again, the next option could be bullish engulfing. Quickly looking at the 30. There's a sell limit, but the stop loss is huge. I think I'll avoid that, to be honest. The 1 hour needs to make a bit more of a pullback, in my opinion. Not going to look for those sells. All right, session open, guys. $41.15 a minute seems to be a pretty strong level. Tapped into it multiple times in the last 3 candles. Only to respect it. We previously during the day, during the Asian session, created support at it as well. Jerry, no idea. I don't trade for value apps, guys. It's the wrong string for that. I don't trade them. The interruption limit on entries is not a fair value gap. It's got nothing to do with a fair value gap. It may line up with one. I wouldn't even know half the time, but it's got nothing to do with it. How you choose it, I don't know, because I don't trade them, mate. That's what I'm trying to suggest it to say to you. I don't trade fair value apps, so I'm not the man to ask. No idea how you choose which one to go off. This is not a fair value app. This is the interruption. This is the interruption pause candle. I have 2 ways of getting involved, or 2 entries, one at the actual high of the interruption candle, one near the body. That's what this is about. Nothing to do with a fair value gap. Teapot Derby? Fair value apps? Yeah, as far as I know. Don't trade A.C.T, don't trade fair value apps. I have no idea. I just don't trade them. Never ever looked into it, nor do I need to, because what I do is not broke, so why do I need to try and fix it? We've adapted, we've progressed. Our trading has evolved, and that has evolved to include what we call the interruption candle, but it has nothing to do with fair value apps. Oh, good day to you, my friend. Hope you're well. Welcome. Better late than never. Just the name, but the concept is valid. Possibly, I don't know. I just don't trade him. What I'm saying, to me, it's not bullshit. I just don't trade him, so I can't give you an answer like how to choose which one is the more probable one of the lot, or I don't know, guys. Kyle, that's what you want to call it? Yes, potentially. Yeah, all good, guys, all good. Where's deep sea dive shark tooth entry? You kind of formed a shark tooth just here, haven't you? So I suppose based off that, you got to form the next tooth beside it, and that could mean we're looking for buys here soon. Brahman, fifth floor. You mean you don't mark off the inverse fair value gap? He'll flop, flop, break a block. Nah. I can tell you 100% I do not mark that out. You don't like that, guys? You can leave the stream. It's not going to force you to be here. But if you're after someone to tell you where you've got an entry based on fair value gap, it's not going to happen here. I have no idea. What is a proper fair value gap? What's a valid one? Where to place an entry based off one? Just don't know. I don't trade it. Teapot Derby, nice one, mate. Jeremy, I like your concepts. Easy. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Teapot Derby, I mean, if thousands of people use them, it might not be that good. I'm a barnacle, not a fish. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and it could work. I just don't need to know if they do or not, because what I do works for me. But personally, I'm not going to say, ooh, gold is dropping here. I'm going to say that it's a shit or whatever, because I don't know. Hold my Nescafe. Like, you know. Where am I from? Melbourne. Melbourne, Oz. Let's see if we're going to push through this resistance, support, sorry. Iran, X, come on, buy limit. Could come into play. Definitely could come into play soon. While there are many different ways to trade and read the market, pick the one that suits you. I agree 100%. Guys, come on, there's only 41 likes. Surely we can get that over 50. Teapot Derby could possibly hold here for a bit. It's a bit stubborn around that 4-1-15 to 4-1-13 sort of level. If that's the case, I've got a plan for the upside as well. But that needs price action to start closing above 4-1-20. 4-1-11. I prefer gold to reject 40.86, then push bullish from there. 40.86. We perhaps reject 41.02, 4100 flat first of all. There is a level though lower down which I've got a limit order set at 83. The only issue with that, and that's why the 2 hour could be the better option, because you've got these wicks to the left, so you've got a pocket of consolidation here just above the cluster interruption limit order. So if you look at it in a 2 hour, that lines up with the highs of those bearish candles. So that's probably, I mean, you could layer in at that point because there's a good chance it's going to reject there before it, if it may not even pop back down further. Very stubborn this level at the minute, we're still respecting it. Top Derby, you just close your sell, still targeting 4044 area. You're a swing trader. Oh, fair enough. I'm at scalper. In and out quickly. Yeah, and 73. There's a potential pullback level. Got quite a bit of support all around. Below that 80 sort of region. Down towards 70. Kobe EU buy. Got multiple long whip rejections here. The downside, suggesting it's grabbed downside liquidity. It's bounced off the Asian range high here. Actually pulled back below and only it's closed back above. Constant rejection of it does suggest to me it's a good chance it could push bullish as well. Look at AU. Wow. So there you go. You would have got 1-to-1 at 3.5 pip stop, 3.5 pip return so far. So good to see it play out, even though it would have come close to tagging your stop loss irrespective. Still a win. Didn't take it. I don't trade it. Teapot Derby, good looks. Come on guys, four more likes and then I stop annoying you guys to hit the like button. Now, the counter trend sell. I'm rather skeptical of a counter trend continuation sell. But if we can clear this support, I will look for the limit order sell. Back below that bullish candle. But we need to clear it. Because it's just the sticking point in the minute. We keep respecting it. Even this wick on the bearish candle to the left. So once again, we need to close well below this blue zone. Then I'll consider a sell limit at the low of the bullish candle with the stop loss back above it. At that level on my brokerage chart, 4114.71 to be exact. Let's get it ready just in case. Oh, what have I done wrong here? That's not correct. A pretty good stop loss in that as well. At the minute, it looks like we're going to respect that level again. Oh, what is going on here with MagicKeys again? Ah, right, that's all right. Sorry guys, had a break and enter from the dog. Teapot Derby, throwing an EMA and 100 on M5. Okay, fair enough. Again, I don't really use those indicators. Use this one though, and that's one I developed myself. Interruption. The Moscow lens, this level is holding strong. It is, it's very stubborn. So we're not going to close below, so there is no sell limit valid. Let's see if we can close back above this most recent resistance formed at support, and that would be a catalyst for me to buy it. And thank you, we got over that 50 like count, so stop asking you to hit the like button now. One more time, hit it. All good. All right. Let's quickly have a look at some of the other pairs right now. Look at silver. I've not looked at it today. Very similar to gold. Silver, there's a really nice interruption lower down here. Looks really clean. Really clean. The approach to it is fantastic as well. That looks a cracking entry. The issue and reason why I don't trade it's because the spreads are pretty terrible on silver. But anyone who's got a decent spread, keep an eye on that for a potential entry. Okay, look at that. Job done on AU as well. GJ, let's see if it's settled down after the news. Would have been an interruption there. Price just pushed straight through it. So news, it's hard to know because news is often corrected pretty quickly. You see on GU, it's just broken low, it's approaching the high again. EU being stubborn as well. Looks still too good, can potentially continue bullish, but keeps pulling back. Oh shit, there's that. Oh, yeah. Alright, so Nasdaq, the valid limit order is there. 15 M30 lines up, so it's a valid entry. Paul, the one you made does work on MT4. Yeah, it should. Can't see why it wouldn't. Actually, no, sorry. It's not yet converted to MLQ, so it only works on TradingView, my friend. For the time being. That's not yet done. I've not converted it yet. Want to make sure it's completely perfected as much as possible prior to doing that. Depot Debbie and 15 coming down and being stubborn at the minute. Well, since gold XAUUSD could be a fake push again. Remains to be seen, my friend. Bullish engulfing here, engulfing that bearish candle or very close to it. It could be buy entries. We've got a little bit of time to wait, so guys will be back in a couple of minutes. Go anywhere. I am back, guys, and I can see we are pushing bullish. Just need to wait 8.5 minutes. There's no impulse entry at the minute, guys, so just chill. Teapot Derby, you're aiming 2 sells around here. Alright, interesting. I'm looking for buy. Weary of the interruption here. Ooh, man to do. Seeing some positives though for the buys. The fact that what we've done is now we have a lower high. Sorry, high, lower low to the previous candle. What that does suggest to me is that this is what we call a liquidity candle. So even if it closes bullish engulfing, it's an even bigger signal. So what we've done is broken a low. Prior to breaking a high, we had a lower high, lower low to that previous candle. Now, since we've popped back up, we've broken a high. What that suggests to me is perhaps we've grabbed downside liquidity. The impulse before was bullish, obviously very strong bullish. So if we can now close bullish engulfing here in the M30, that would suggest to me it's a good chance we could correct this move, most recent move, and head back up towards the high based off just simple price action. So that's what we're going to be waiting on. There is to be a buy. Jeremy, you're buying my AU? Oh, really? Wow, look at that. Yes, it would have come close to stop loss, but look at it now. What a trade that would have been in the end. Couple days in the making. Got so close yesterday to tagging in and bounced off it. Got so close a bit earlier and bounced off. Finally tagged in. Yes, a bit of drawdown, but look at it now. Stop loss safe the whole time. Let's see on gold. We need that strong close here. We don't want it to reject. That's the last thing we want to do. Teapot Derby and they're rejecting 30-day EMA. Hey, fair enough. Fair enough, my friend. Jeremy, what's the TP? Target will be the most recent resistance, 41.32, but I would secure in between if I see fit. But first things first, there needs to be confirmed, and far off being confirmed at the minute because we're well back below that bearish candle high here. Teapot Derby. Assume you mean liquidity. Oh, this is why it's important to wait for candle closures. Yep, twice in a row. Same thing here. Didn't quite get the close I wanted. Look what happened. We were rejected. Once again, it's doing the same thing here. If you took an impulse entry, you're in a fair bit of drawdown and hurting at the minute. The 4 hour is a bit concerning when it comes to buy options, to be honest. The 4 hour has rejected resistance to the left. is engulfing the previous candle, so there's a bit of a conflicting story here. I still believe if we get that confirmation strong enough to suggest we could pull back deeper within the 4-hour candle itself. So what I need to see in the next 3 minutes has to close above this bearish candle high. Yep. Well, someone for sure took a buy. That's always me. Are you joking, mate? Are you joking, or did you really? On the 2-hour, if the candle closes bearish, would it be valid? I see on the 2-hour. There is a valid interruption buy in the 2-hour. No. No, I just see it's a potential reversal, but there is a valid buy lower down, which looks good. It's under 2 minutes, guys. We need to close above this bearish candle high. Bit of benefit and doubt, Carl. Surely, no, I know you wouldn't be in. Pretty much doubt you would. But who knows? It could be a potential buy shortly. It's starting to push. Now the entry would have to be above the bullish candle high. Now it would be taken in anticipation. It's going to push a bit deeper into the 30-minute interruption. So you would need, in my opinion, to get to break even pretty quick in case it does reject the 30-minute interruption. Not taking a sell because the stop loss is just too big and I can't find a better way to go about it to reduce the stop loss. So we've got just under a minute, and once again, analyst is the 30-minute closing bullish, engulfing the 15-minute closing above the resistance. I'll be looking at buys. High on my Forex chart, 41.2246, so 41.2275 roughly. Okay, some news out. Is this spike to the upside? Is there? NASDAQ approaching the limit order. 740 definitely has, so maybe something to do with the pound and euro. This is not valid. And rules are rules, guys. Oh geez, this is tempting to sell it because it's got no lower wick as it taps into the interruption. Again, I can't do anything about the stop, so I don't know what to do with it, guys. I'm sorry. Stop loss is way too wide. Didn't actually tap. No, didn't quite tap in. So similar to yesterday, a trade we took on stream, guys, but in the opposite direction. So you guys were on stream yesterday. What happened was the candle opened up and tagged into our limit order buy without an upper wick, and then it just flipped and shot straight to like a 60-70 pip profit in a matter of minutes. It was a cracking trade. A similar story here, but it's not actually tapped in, but it's doing a similar thing. Because what we know is there's, if you were to look to the left of the chart, there is probably about 95+% of these candles have wicks in both directions. So there's a good chance it's going to pull back to create it. It's just done that. So when it lines up with the actual interruption, the limit order, it is such a cracking entry. Take it every single day of the week. Don't even think, just have the limit order set, sit there comfortably as we did yesterday. Cool, calm, collected. Some else gonna learn this knowledge, you know. If it was me before, I would have jumped into the buy at this level, and then market would go against me. I've learned a lot not to chase the market. Nice one, mate. Crispy honeybee, other buy still valid with 4-hour rejection. Well, it's not valid because it didn't tick the box, but yeah, I was willing to not ignore it. I still know it's there, but willing to take the trade in anticipation that 4-hour could pull back a little bit deeper into itself. But once again, rules are rules, because look at this, guys. Didn't quite get the catalyst I wanted, and look what it's doing again. It's rejecting. Carl just looked at a wonder to our chart. Quite different candle formation. I hate how different. Yeah, I know, mate, because of the different times and that as well. Teapot derby, agency sells. All right, fair enough, man. Up is, but that stop is what? Yeah, that's the issue. It didn't tap in either way. It got close, but didn't quite tap in. But that's what put me off it. So you can be selective, guys, even if it is valid. You still have to determine whether or not it's worth it. So you gotta line up stop loss. Now the target on it would be the support, so you wouldn't even have a 1-to-1. Because we're not greedy. We target the next potential level of interest. So well, the next level of interest, which to me is we've formed support here. We can't just assume it's going to burst straight through it. It may do so, but there's a good chance once again it's going to react to it. So that is the target. You're looking at 180 or just over 100 pip stop on this one, with about 68 pip target. So it's just not worth it. Once again, if you're following along and you're contemplating buys, you should not be in any buys at the minute, guys. Wilson's gold, market manipulation, trap buyer. Or is it trapping sellers? Because we are very bullish within the current day's candle. We are respecting a support previously formed within it. So I think, you know, it's potentially it could be trapping buyers, but I see as at the moment potentially trapping some sellers here. Teapot derby, good points. I mean, that's the thing, the markets are not subjective. Markets have no emotions. They couldn't give a shit if we're trying to sell or buy. It just does what it does. It's our job to use our cues that work for us and wait patiently for that to present before we, you know, get excited and try and jump into a trade. Apple users, sorry mate, just saw that in basket was at all-time low and knew there was an intervention like candle coming today. Oh geez, look at that. Wow. Let's have a look at GJ. Jesus. Now nothing can prepare you for that unexpected news. Well, it could be scheduled news, but that's why you shouldn't be trading into it. When it's unexpected and it's breaking, you can't do a thing about it, unfortunately, guys. There is really nothing you can do about it. And at that point, technicals go out the window. You just need to let it settle down, reassess, perhaps give it a break for an hour or two. It's the only thing you can really do in that sort of situation. But look at that. I mean, then I know that was earlier, but maybe there's some more breaking news out of Japan. No, still, oh, yep, here it is. Open to raising rates faster than every 6 months. Okay, so there you go. That obviously is going to lead to strength in the yen. William, how often? Monday to Thursday. Wilson's gold. BOJ increased rate faster than... Yep. Negative news for gold? No, it's not going to impact gold. Shouldn't have any impact on gold. Right, man? I had a small position on GJ. Side of the M-pairs, I get smoked every time I look at yen. There's the death candle cooks me. I'm throwing yen in garbage. I mean, there's nothing can prepare you for that, like I mentioned. But the actual interruption entry works quite well on GJ from what I've seen. We spoke about in the members call yesterday. Yeah, but nothing can quite prepare you for, you know, circumstances when news breaks. I mean, I remember the good old days when GJ would pump and dump, give you a quick 20-30 pips, almost as quick as what gold does. I still love trading it, but it just stopped. Became really choppy, forever stuck in 4-hour areas of consolidation, not even ranges, just consolidating. But again, it's something I discussed on the MEMS call yesterday, something that perhaps once you have the data, but really look to trade pretty much any pair with the interruption entry. Ooh, silver coming close. All right, so let's wait 6 minutes here. And again, same sort of scenario. I need this to close. If it is to close bearish, that's pretty much what I wanted to do now. Close below the support. Then I'll look for a sell limit. That is the catalyst. Very simple rule. That would have wiped through the support finally. We would have formed a cluster interruption. It's a little bit premature, to be honest, to take it, because the cluster, you kind of want a bit of an impulse prior to it pulling back. All right, let's see. We're trying to drop here. All right, so the low of that candle is 41.1608. You're looking at about 62, 63 pip stop. And the target is the IC by Teapot Derby. It's going to next M15. Well, it's trying to. There could be entries, guys. Greco all moving strongly to the upside, so yeah, so that adds confluence. But the buy limit come into play shortly. So far we're ticking a box. We need to close below it. Now the other entry is continuation, and I'm more comfortable with it now because we keep pulling back above the support, but now we're closing below it. So the continuation cell will be upper wick, rejection of this level, entry below what is the catalyst candle's low. So there are your two options: limit order sell the low of that bullish candle. Second option is continuation sell. Your target is the interruption. Now the continuation sell has an issue, stop loss, so you really need an upper wick, and I've just preference then the interruption entry, because the continuation sell, wow, 120 plus pips for a scalp. You don't even have the margin. You don't have one-to-one. So wait for it to create a decent upper wick, and you'd have to use that. Stop with the entry below what is the catalyst. But what I'm gonna do in shortly, just before the candle closes, likely, as long as I know we're going to get that confirmation, I'm going to set the limit order sell at low of that bullish candle. Next stop 100. Yeah, possibly, mate, possibly. So we need to wipe out this zone right now. This is not what we want. We don't want to close back within it. It has to close below it. Close below it. If it doesn't close below it, what the following candle needs to do, and there's only one potential entry then, and it's not the limit order. Following candle needs to break without creating an upper wick, pop back up, create the upper wick, and then you sell stop below of the initial break to the downside. That's just simple price action. It is at the minute line ball, guys. Let's see. Not putting the risk reward tool up until it's confirmed. And it looks like it will be. Alright, limit order shorts are officially valid. I've set that order. Now, continuation shorts, we need decent upper wick. That's not enough. Has to pull back a bit further. Still not enough, guys. Need to trust it as my stop loss. So you're looking at about 19-20 pips. Usually if that is, it could trigger you in, pop back up, create a high, get taken out quickly. So I'm not going to take the continuation unless it pulls back further. So I've got the limit order set. And it's set at, I've got some of the orders set in a minute. 4115190. No, sorry. 411608. Yeah, it's literally 20 pip stop if you're taking the entry just now. Yeah, pretty quick risk to reward 1-to-1. And there it goes. Yeah, about 14-15 pips on the table, not quite the 1-to-1. It's not enough of an upper wick. Alright, so I'm going to remove this zone now, seeing we've wiped through it. Alright, the indicator is recognizing it. To be honest, what would be great if it makes the impulse, tags into the limit order buy, then pulls back to tag into the limit order sell moving forward. I'm really doing overtime too, guys. Just give me a minute. I gotta check something that's cooking. 2 seconds, guys. So what does delay IC bar limit mean? It's just the entry type that we refer to as, it's short for interruption candle entry, this being the interruption candle. Oh, you bumped your keyboard. Does that mean you took a trade? Well, if you did, you're in profit, so it's the downside. You hit someone? Ah. Ah, it's all good. You just unhide. I think you can do it. But either way, if you teapot, don't, no offense, you'll be back to next tomorrow. Fixed it. Yeah, sometimes that happens by accident. I remember blocking someone by accident once, and then quickly realized I had to unblock them. All right, gold, come on, just do something. some people just shouldn't be giving power. All right, mate. I know it happens sometimes by accident. Wilson's gold is a risk to take short gold at this midpoint. Look, it's close below support, so I can understand if it's going to pull back further, but we are very bullish. But to me, it just wasn't a deep enough upper wick to trust it for the stop loss. To be honest, I would, like I mentioned, love for this to begin to drop. Tag into the interruption, bounce off it. And then reject and tag into the sell limit. Cluster I see technically has to create an impulse. Well, the limit order is there. It is true. I was to really be true to my course. Cluster interruption not really valid unless it creates an impulsive leg first. But we'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna keep it in for the time being. Rebecca, DXY is working. Okay. Fair enough. Let's. Wow, look at that euro. Yeah, must get to break even quickly. It does trigger in. Cluster and the cornerstone rule really has to create that initial impulse. So to be honest, I would much rather trigger in the buy prior to the sell. I would feel a lot more comfortable. Let's see, we're sticking around to see where this candle closes. I've done a lot of overtime, guys. This is over 2 hours now. If the following candle can wick straight bullish, I'll hang around. If not, and what I'm going to do is remove the order and focus on it creating the impulse, tagging into the bull plus the interruption, delayed interruption, and then I'll set the order again if it tags into the buy first. That's what I'm going to do. Wait to see once again if the new candle can open straight bullish and tag in without a low wick. Wilson's gold, M5. Look, the M5 looks like it is creating some nice structure here. Lower high, lower low, or equal high, lower low. All right, this is actually what I want to see, in all honesty. All right, this is much better. Much better. Let it create the initial impulse. Or not taps in. Fantastic if it did. That's what you want. If it pulled up just before it and pulled back, the cluster is a really good entry there. Very high probability. All right, this is a lot better, guys, because at least now you've got the margin as well. Let's see, open up the new 1 hour. Let's have a look at the 4 hour. We've got 2 hours left off that. There's one again on the M30, but same shit. Stop loss is way too wide on the M30. Leo, g'day mate, hope you're well. Been a while, all is good. Teapot, you're adding 2 cells. Really, guys, I need to go get off before I jump on the members call later on. No one going to hear, but guys, I need to eat in that in between. It's literally dinner time here. You guys should know exactly what I'm looking at though. You got limit order sell option at low of this bullish candle. Limit order buy option 2 here. I'd layer in one at the high, one at the bottom. Lower the lot size because you got a wider stop. The preference is, in all honesty, technically speaking, the limit order sell is not valid yet, but I think it's not a bad entry because the requirement for the cluster interruption, whether it be bullish or bearish, requires an impulse prior to it, and we've not really created that impulse yet. So the impulse is something like that, and then it returns to that point, rejects, and you get the profit. That's the whole point behind it. That's what you want to see. In fact, to be honest, I'm going to remove that. I want it to create the impulse. And if it taps into the bull interruption, fantastic. If it pulls up just before it, I will put the entry back in, so long as we create that impulse first. What was level 1? 6. Got how many orders here? Yeah, so I've just removed that one. Alright guys, so I'm focused on the buys first, and that is what I'll be looking at with my team moving forward. Sorry guys, unfortunately did not trigger on stream, but you guys know exactly what to look for, so it's not like I'm, you know, ending the stream prematurely. You guys know exactly where to look for your entries, so please trade safe, don't do anything stupid. Tomorrow I'll be on, same as normal. Look forward to that. My team, I'll be on with you guys later. Just give me a chance to have some dinner and freshen up and do a few other things. Yeah, trade safe guys. Don't do anything stupid until tomorrow. Thank you for the support. Let's see what happens moving forward for the rest of the day. Take care. Have a good one, guys.